Hi all, welcome to the first podcast of NxtWave. I'm Chetan Amle Pathak. I'm founder and managing partner of Nirvana Transformation Academy. So this is our first podcast for NxtWave, and today's topic is design thinking. As you know, design thinking is it's very critical and catching up trend, and it's very important as well as business consulting and information transformations and concerned. So let's go over this particular topic that I'll be covering today. Next few slides will cover information about our firm, Nirvana Transformation Academy. Yes, so starting with today's agenda, I'll be covering what is design thinking, absolutely what are the basics of design thinking, phases of design thinking, what it uh, contains, what different steps it has, design thinking for product development, its application for product development, process development, service management. These three critical tracks. Design thinking use case will cover Airbnb, which is as you use Airbnb in your everyday life, but Airbnb is the critical success factor behind Airbnb, and one of the critical success factors is design thinking and recent trends and applications. So let's get started. Yeah, so what is design thinking? So typically design thinking is a problem solving and innovation framework. And it's an inspirational ideation and implementation framework. And in its inherent form, design thinking supports innovation. So if you follow design thinking, definitely it will make the innovation process pretty simple, and it's embedded into the design thinking. So if you see typically, What design thinking and what are the different steps that are covered in design thinking are empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So only very simple 5 tests. And as I covered, design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation. So that means that the center of this particular methodology is are humans. So it's a human-centered approach to innovation that solves complex problems on the ground for businesses and for different sectors. And the deep focus of design thinking is understanding users, which were using those technologies or services. And as I said, it has only 5 steps: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and tests. What are the benefits that you will get out of design thinking? Obviously, it encourages deep user understanding, leading to more meaningful and impactful solutions. Because as you're close to your customers, as you know, you will have the real solutions to their issues. You first of all, you'll understand what are the real issues that your customers are facing, and your solutions or your innovative solutions or innovations are in line with those uh, challenges. It forces creativity and innovation. So it's a one of the critically acclaimed framework across the world for innovation. It fosters creativity and innovation. That's the critical benefit, key benefit of design thinking. Enhances flexibility and adaptability. Absolutely. It enhances the flexible approaches and adaptability across the sectors and across the spectrum of industries. So that's the key benefits of design thinking. So we are always staying user focused and iterative way of development. So that what it's these are the key benefits of design thinking. So what are the 5 design thinking steps? As I said, we have empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. What it covers. So for empathize, it is conduct research to understand the user's pain points. So we have to, at this particular step, you know, empathizes with the user. You go on a emotional level rather than only intellect level to understand the actual issues that your customers are facing and empathize with the customer, collect the requirements on that level, make the customer comfortable because it is more on EQ level than IQ level, and there where the actual problem lies, right? So if you talk to a customer on EQ level, emotional level, empathize level, than only IQ level, which you used to do as collecting requirements and stuff like that, you know that will more open up the customer. You can actually connect to the customer on emotional level and then connecting on intellect level, you can collect the requirements, but that is more of an empathize stage. Define is synthesize the information what you collected from the customer and define the core problems, and this is what the beauty of design thinking is. As you are connected to the customer on emotional level and empathize with the customer, you're defining of the solutions and synthesizing, analyzing these will be more uh, in line with the customer expectations. The third stage is ideate, where you brainstorm a whole range of creative solutions. So ideation itself is a step for innovation. So you ideate the solution idea, brainstorm it amongst various groups, and come up with a set of creative solutions. Prototype, build scale down versions of the solution. So whatever ideation you have done, whatever solutions you have chosen out of say 5, chosen 2, you prototype them and then test. So share these prototype with the end users, and bridge the gap. So empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And you will be surprised when you give through rigorous to design thinking and give the prototype to the end customer for testing. You will be surprised that the gaps will be narrowed because at the initial step itself, during empathize and define, you have uh, pinpointed, correctly pinpointed to the customer problems. So these are the 5 steps for design thinking. Yes, so then now I'll be covering design thinking and product development. So as I said, we'll covering the design thinking in three tracks: product development, service management, and applications. So as you can see in the Venn diagram, the product development, the end-to-end product mindset has three critical stakeholders: business, customer, and technology. So you can't have requirements or satisfying only one customer. Like if you satisfy business with your product or customer or technology, that doesn't serve the purpose. You have to struck a balanced view where is a common view from all these three: business, customer, and technology. So design thinking, methodology bridges this gap. It encourages you to empathize with business, customer, technology, define the pain points of all these three, and work in a space as indicated on this diagram, which is a common space where of all these three stakeholders, and where there the design thinking supports framework supports, and you have a very critical business requirements for product development. So product design and product has, as I said, three critical stakeholders: business, technology, customer, and they have different KPIs as pointed out on this slide. Business has growth, ROI, success, technology, effort, agility, scope, customer goals, wants, tasks. So you have to bridge, you have to struck a right balance through design thinking. You can do this and collect the requirements which are satisfying to all these three critical stakeholders through the five-step process of empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So this is a key application of design thinking to product development. Next, we'll cover design thinking in service management. Here now we have business, technology, and people, because we are offering services, and human beings are the our customers, or would be consuming the services. That's why we have design thinking angle, and we are included people in this as a third stakeholder. And equally, design thinking is very successful in terms of its application to service management as well. Next, we will be covering design thinking use case to better understand what exactly design thinking, how it works on the ground, what are the uh, practical examples of it. It's not a theoretical framework, right? So Airbnb is the example I've taken because everyone can correlate to Airbnb. Everyone has heard about Airbnb. What the business they do, and that's why we have chosen this example. So let's go through it, how Airbnb used design thinking and achieved business success. So as we said, I've covered, there are five different steps of design thinking. So for empathize, what Airbnb team, design thinking team has done is uh, the leadership team, and they are connected to interviews with the hosts and guests to understand their needs and frustrations deeply. So they have connected, empathize with their hosts and guests, the end users, on emotional level, so that they can understand their needs and frustrations, not on intellect level, because that's a bit shallow level where you may not be able to understand or step into the shoes of the customers. It's only on the intellectual level, analytical level, and may not be, and that may not be the suffice of all the needs that customers have, right? So that's what they have done. They have conducted interviews, empathized with their end users, and uh, collected their those who have understand their issues and requirements. Next is define state. So next they have done is used next process step of design thinking, identify trust and listing quality as critical issue. So from empathize, you collected set of pointers. From that, they have defined, they have brainstormed and identified trust and listing quality as two critical uh, issues which are impacting business of area and perception also. In ideate, third step, they have suggested implementing professional photography for listing to enhance trust and visibility. So they have done ideation. So empathize, they collected the issues, defined, they have identified critical two issues from the set of issues. In ideation, they brainstormed and suggested the implementation, and that is photography for listing to enhance trust and visual appeal. And in prototype, they rolled out a professional photography for a small batch of listings. They prototyped with the customers and tested it, observed a notable increase in bookings for those listings. So after they have gone through this process, what they have observed is there is a definitely addressal of the issue, uh, what customer is facing, and that is creating impact and business impact. That is an increase in bookings for those listings. That's a byproduct. So this is how Airbnb utilized design thinking and implemented, and now also they're following design thinking on a repetitive, iterative basis to address the customer issues and win the confidence of the customers. On this slide, I'll be covering recent trends on design thinking. So we have AI-powered design thinking, sustainable and circular design. That's aligning to circular economy, as you know, we reusable economy, inclusive and accessible design, behavioral design, system thinking, integration, remote and digital collaboration, rapid experimentation and prototyping, ethical and responsible design. So these are the recent trends, 8 to 9 trends that are dominating the current business. On this slide, I'll be covering the applications of design thinking. So where you can actually apply design thinking. So product development and innovation, absolutely I've covered already. Customer experience and service design, healthcare solutions, business strategy and problem solving, business consulting, education and learning experiences, social innovation and public services, digital transformation, UI, UX design, workplace and organization development. Almost everywhere you can apply design thinking. You can apply design thinking in your personal life as well. If you have a team at your home, so you can definitely use design thinking to understand each other's issues or conflicts and use ideate and define and use conflict resolution for everyday conflicts or critical conflicts. So design thinking is application. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. That's why it's very important technology, and we would suggest you definitely give a uh, uh, try for using this technology in your everyday life in your business. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are available. And with this, we are coming to an end to this power-packed podcast of Next Wave for design thinking. And have a nice day.